I'm Esther Stapleton-Stone, and this is In the Boardroom podcast. And my guest today is Dr. Norma Gregory. And I'm so delighted to have you on this podcast, Norma, and welcome.
Thank you so much.
So can you please share where you grew up?
I was born in Nottingham, in the centre of the city, Newstead Grove, and we lived in. After that, we lived in Hyson Green, quite a diverse area in the city of Nottingham, in the 70s, and then we moved to Nottinghamshire. But then I moved to London for 20 years in the late 80s, 1987. For 20 years in London, and then moved back to Nottingham. So that's where I reside now, because I'm able to settle down and buy property here and just call it home, a place where I work from and have peace and quiet. So and then go out into the world to do my work. So yes, in Nottingham.
Oh, wonderful. So what did you study at university?
Yes, thank you. Well, I studied my degree, undergraduate degree, was English literature, English language, theology, and religious studies. I was keen to be a journalist. That's why I chose English. And before that, I studied A-level English and French and Sitting Guilds in radio and print journalism. So my journey was kind of journalism, interviewing, exactly what you're doing. But I found my love of writing and speaking and reading. Yeah, that was my English. And I'm still passionate about books. As you can see all around me, I've got books everywhere. I really could say that they changed my life and saved my life, reading.
So why did you decide on studying teaching profession?
Yeah. I became a teacher following many years working in schools. So when I left St Mary's University, where I did my undergraduate degree, I did go on to do my master's degree in education at the Institute of Education, University of London, and then my PGCE, which is basically your teaching degree, your teaching certificate. I did that at Nottingham University. So following my years of studying and working in schools, I was a learning mentor for many years, and then became a manager, mentoring mentors, helping them to do their job really well, which I studied my master's degree on mentoring. I decided to become a school teacher in that I loved my core subject of English, because I just found how being able to read and write, I really understood what that meant in the world that we live in. I just understood the importance of language. I loved French at school. I did French and German. I love languages. I became a teacher in order that could start helping younger people how to write properly, write to the best of their ability in order to convey the point of what they're trying to ask for or say. So I enjoyed my time as a teacher. I went on to teach in a college called Kaplan College at Nottingham Trent University for a term, helping teaching with media.
Lovely. So what's your personal mission?
Yes, my mission is, I've got quite a few. I mean, my central core mission, what keeps my heart beating every day and it gets me out of bed every day, is education. It has to be. It's the center of everything that I do. Learning how to do things that I don't know how to do, I'll spend time learning that, whether I'm watching YouTube videos, whether I'm reading, whether I'm speaking, talking about it, doing a presentation, creating a poster, artwork, whatever it is. I just think try to understand what is it you're trying to do in this world, because I do believe we've all got a mission and we've all got a journey, and I do take that seriously as well. Every day I think, right, and it's something that tells me, I get up and I say, right, what am I doing today? I've got my diary, my phone, I know kind of things I'm doing, but I let every day take its course, and I follow my path and I follow my journey, and I know my purpose. Where when I was younger, in my early 20s, particularly when I left Nottingham in 1987, I left Nottingham to do modelling in London, and Things didn't turn out as I wanted them to do because I like my chocolate, I like my sweets. So it was very difficult in the late 80s because you really had to be like 7 stone, and I was like 9 stone, and I was always dieting. From the age of 12, 13, I've been dieting. So it's a big issue, you know, weight and food management. I do like food.
Me
uh,
too.
so I went to London to do modelling, and I ended up doing a lot of hair shows and things in London. But I thought, what is my purpose in life? I worked in Harrods for a number of years. I thought, what was my purpose? So I went back to evening class, and that was really my start of my finding me and finding my sense of place in the world. Like, knowing that I'm here for a reason. I'm not just a leaf blowing in the wind or a feather blowing in the wind. I've got a job to do, and that job is what I do. It's my work. I don't call my work. I don't call it like a job. I think it's my life's calling. Your work should be your life's calling. Your career should be your life's calling. And if it's not, I think change it. Do something else.
How would
Yeah.
someone who's listening or viewing this podcast, who's listening to what you've just said, how can they find their purpose if they're going through a dry season or a difficult patch, or things seem a bit kind of the blowing in the wind and they don't know which direction to go? How would they start finding their purpose?
I would listen to your heart. That kind of listen to what is naturally you. What is natural, and it's something you would do for no money. It would be something you would do if you get paid for it. It's amazing, and I do believe in getting paid. Everything I do now, I do insist, because I believe I'm worth it, and I know I'm worth it. I know the skills I bring to the table is worth it. People do a lot of volunteering. I always do a lot of volunteering. To this day, I do volunteering. But when organizations can pay you, they should pay you. I do insist in being firm and being confident. And again, a lot of young people are not confident to ask for what they want.
So how would someone know their worth and value and know how much to kind of ask for when someone says, well, I've got this job, and you're like in a consultancy kind of dynamic and you're new to it? How can they gauge to say, this is my worth, this is how much I want to be paid per hour, if they're new to the industry?
Yes, they need to do research, do some research into other people doing that job. Go online, just check out who are the people doing the work that you want to do. Look at job descriptions, what they're paying for that job. Talk to people who are doing to that job. Yes. And then when you do go for an interview, or when you do go for a job, you know what you should be offered. And if you're not offered, you negotiate. You got to negotiate. You can't be silent, because if you're silent, they're going to be the employer or whoever's offering you the chance of work. They're going to think you don't know what you're worth. And if you don't know what you're worth, and they don't know what you're worth, so they're just going to take a guess or estimate or think that you're not worth anything. And I think it's important to speak up about your pay. Insist on pay. Insist on fair wage. Just have a rate of what you won't accept. Ask for what you deserve. Ask for it. You might not get it, but at least put it on the table and negotiate. Just try to negotiate, because they respect you more for that. They will show that if you can negotiate your worth, you'll negotiate for the company too. You know what I mean? So they'll kind of respect you more for being brave, because I think it's courage to ask for what you want.
I love what you're saying. Dr. Greg. I love that. So now, when you was at university,
yes,
you perhaps went through some challenging times.
Yes.
How did you cope with those challenging times, and how did those challenging times make you the person you are today?
Yes, I would say throughout my formal education years, from school, primary school, secondary school, I think it's tough as a person of African heritage, full stop. Yeah, the system is not made in your favor. You're put in bottom classes in primary school, secondary school. You're put in bottom groups all the time, even though you're the top of the group, but you're put in the bottom. So you have to navigate that. And I think now, as a parent, I kept a very, very close eye on that with my own daughter, because she was top of the group and they were trying to put her down. And I wrote letters to the governors. I took it to the high level. I showed off my English writing skills. They knew I could write a letter, and I got her put back into the top groups. So, but it's not fair that that system is made like that, because not everybody can write the letter or approach the head teacher and speak to them about the issue. But you have to do it. You have to have courage to do it. I loved my time at university at St Mary's in Twickenham, Strawberry Hill, in Surrey. It was wonderful. It had physically, we had a church. It was a Catholic university. I'm not Catholic, but I'm Christian. There was a church in the middle of the campus, which I just loved, because I could go there when I was stressed out, writing essays that were extremely long and had stacks of books I had to read every day. I went to church, and after dinner or after breakfast, I'd just go and sit in the church for 10 minutes of calm. 10 minutes of calm, my day changed. I thought, right, I'm going to just pray and thank God for the opportunity that I had at St Mary's, which was wonderful. And then I went about my day. So that's what I did at St Mary's, and I joined a lot of the clubs, like the athletics clubs. I'm very sporty. I love being in sport, in teams. I used to be a shot putter and javelin thrower, a discus thrower, and now I play badminton now. I'm a assistant coach now. I love squash, tennis, anything where I'm running around, burning off energy. I love sport. I love going to the gym. So I put that in place. So it wasn't just study. I made my day a healthy day, healthy breakfast, but I ate properly, that it set me up for the day, that I could study for the whole day. And in the evening too, I'd be working in my room, studying till late, get up, start again. So I was really methodical about my approach on how I was going to use my time at university. And do the best I could do. That on graduation day, I got my 2-1. I was so proud, because if I didn't work, I would have got a third for sure. If I didn't put the effort in, I was so proud of myself on that day, because I thought, I have earned this. And we graduated at the massive Catholic church in London. Beautiful, massive church, and we had a graduation there, which was surreal. So I was so proud that day, because I got there. I got to the end, and there was more to do. I realized this was the beginning of my life, going forward. This is a new direction for me, working in education as I do now. So proud, proud moment.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. And so you did mention a little bit about your faith, about prayer.
Yeah.
So how is prayer important? How was prayer important then?
Yeah.
And how is prayer important now to you?
I open my eyes about 4 or 5 in the morning. So, but before I do anything, before I go to my phone, before I do anything, read anything, I do pray. I do thank God for waking me up, for giving me another day to do work, to do God's work. Yeah, I do that first thing. I don't get out of bed. I just really I just have that moment of peace and giving thanks to God. I do. And then, if things are tough, I mean, if I'm going for a really tough patch, I mean, I'm not saying I pray only because I go for a tough patch, but I do find I pray more when things are challenging. I just pray for things get cloudy, and it's almost like you can't see the road ahead, that journey that I'm on. And I just pray, I pray that this fog clears, and it does clear. So yeah, so that's what I would say about my faith. It needs to be stronger though as well. I always think there's always something I could do better every day, and ask for guidance and strengthening in that area.
Love that. I love that, because we do need that clarity. Yeah. And that connection with God can just give us that clarity. And I think sometimes our Christian growth is a journey, and sometimes we get knockbacks, and sometimes we'll fall off when we do pray as much. But I think God is always there, and He's always with us. So which is great, and it's always good to remember that He is the focus of why we are here, and to keep living our life and shine our light as bright as we can. And I love what you're saying there, Norma. What do you love the most about the careers that you've had?
Yeah, well, what I've loved most about my careers is that I have changed my career over the years. I started off in sales. I had my first paper round at 11. So I was always like to do things involving energy and movement, talking to people, customer service. I've always been kind of people oriented in that respect. But my careers have been mainly focused around education, around changing lives. I always think you can build lives or you can break lives, so in your actions. So I always think I want to build lives, because I've had to strengthen myself. Like I said earlier, I think my weakest part in my life was in my early 20s. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know. I was in London trying to find somewhere to live, trying to exist. That was a tough period, but it was important to have that episode period in my life because it made me stronger. It made me who I am today, which is a confident woman of African heritage. Yes, I know I am. And that's it. um, but it's about projecting that and helping other people to become stronger as well.
So, Dr. Norma Gregory, how can women be strong and have that tenacity and strength of character? How can they own that skill? And it looks like you've found something that you can share with all of us.
Yes. Well, I think women need to be strong in their mission and value. Just knowing that they've got some work to do for the world. And it's not just work for your job or work for your family or friends. It's work for the world. It's on that scale I'm talking about. So we need to recognize that we've got a job to do and it's for the world. It could be, yes, helping out somewhere, working in a particular job, bringing up your family, but it's still a job, important work that you're part of your journey that we have to do. So, but I think to do our work, our journey or mission, we need to try to stay healthy, eat well, get our exercise, get some sleep, get up, get out of bed and get moving. You know what I mean? I think every day I try to fix myself, dress nicely, do my hair, do my makeup. They may be fickle things to some people, but I think every single day I'm going to look the best I can look. I'll do the best speaking that I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I kind of say every single day you're going to see the very best from me on every single level. So even though a lot of us are working at home, get out the onesie, get out the pajamas. Not that everyone was in there, but I just think in presenting yourself at the best level. Do you know what I mean? Every single day, clothing wise, yeah. Think I dress nice every day because I want to feel great. And if I feel great, I'm going to do my work to the best of my ability. So that's what I think as well. I think talking to each other, like not being afraid to ask for help or texting people that how are you today? Just kind of connecting, because sometimes again we do things. We're strong. Women are naturally strong. They're just made to feel weak or lose confidence by systems. So I think we just need to stand up, stand firm and walk forward, and be proud and keep your head up. Because I was playing badminton this week and I was told that I was too confident, that I should give some of my confidence to the other team members. And I thought, yeah, I can share my confidence. But to be told that I was too confident, stumped me for a minute, because I thought, what does that mean? What does that mean? But I thought, you know what? I'm going to stay confident. I'm going to get even more confident now you've said that. And I thought, right, if they've noticed I'm confident, okay, that's good. I'm going to do more of what I'm doing and even more.
So what have you learned about yourself in terms of taking risks and stepping out in a new direction?
Yeah, well, I think taking risks, it's okay. I think you need to prepare yourself, whatever change of direction you want to do. Think about it. What is it you want from it? What is it you'll gain from it? What is it you'll put into it? What is it you need to learn about that particular, choice, avenue, job that you might go into? But I think I'm always one to take risks. I'm always thinking, right, I need to learn this. I need to do that. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to learn it. It is risky because it costs money. If you've got to learn something, you've got to pay for a new course. You have to take time watching videos, talking to people. So it takes a lot of time up. But if you've got your mission, again, your plan of why you're doing that, what is it, the purpose of doing that? Whatever it is in your career. So, and I do think, don't feel afraid to change your career, because sometimes people stick with one career for their whole life because that's what people did in the 1920s. We're not living in the 1920s. We're living in a world where you've got to be adaptable. You've got to be able to change, change. You know what I mean? To make a change, you've got to be able to adapt. So always be flexible with your career. And I think, it doesn't always mean working in the local community. It might mean moving city. It might mean working online more, connecting up with companies or partners overseas. Because it's a big world out there, and and I always think connect with other organizations overseas that are doing similar work to you, so you can link up and work together on a project and visit them in their country, in your country, to your country. So I think having that open-mindedness to careers is important in the world we're living in now, the context we're living in.
There are so many different boardroom skills and characteristics. What are your boardroom skills that you could share with us?
My boardroom skills, I would say they are for leadership, for management, project management. I can kind of think of ideas or projects that I want to do and get them started, get them making progress and finish them, because sometimes a lot of people don't finish projects, or they kind of start something new and leave that one. But I never finished. I kind of like to see closure and also think about what I've learned from it in order to get ready for the next project I work on. So my other skills, I would say, are time management. I'm very punctual. I like things to start on time, because I think it's respectful when things start on time, that people that are not waiting around for you if you're half an hour late, or that's not right, because they've got things to do, they've got their work to do, their mission and purpose. So I think being respectful with time, and that's again down to planning, management, just having a plan of what you're trying to do, how it's got to be done, when it's got to be done by, and what is the impact. I think being a leader is understanding the impact of whatever actions that you're doing, or whatever project you're doing, or whatever job you're doing. What is the impact? How will it change lives for the better? And I think that has to be the focus of whatever you're doing. It needs to be at the start, before you start doing whatever you're doing. It's the impact. What impact will that have on somebody's life? If you can answer those questions at the beginning, it will really plan that path, your planning and journey ahead. So those are some of the skills as a leader, I think, that I like to develop, and the things that I work on to be a strong woman and a strong leader. Yes, for sure.
Brilliant. So what tips have you got for someone who's listening or watching this podcast about going into leadership? What tips have you got for them?
Yeah, I think leadership can be at any age as well. I think there are some amazing young people doing some amazing work and showing good leadership and being a good role model for others to learn from and follow. I think that being a leader is a lifelong journey. No one's perfect, so if you make mistakes, it's recognizing those errors or challenges or things that you could have done better, or somebody's told you do it better, and you think, right, you got to listen to that and you got to learn from it and think, what could I do better? Because sometimes when you're going in the wrong way, you're just thinking, why are things not happening right? But you need to rethink and step back and then reflect and start again. So those are some of the things that I would help people. As I said at the beginning, my master's was in education. I studied my master's. I focused on mentoring, helping other people be the best they could be. 4 years I did that in the evening class while I was working full-time in school. And so I think understanding mentoring as an academic kind of subject, but also applying it in my work, daily life. Yeah, I think I've got to give some credit to my time as a Girl Guide and a Brownie.
I was so delighted last December to receive a WhatsApp message from you with a beautiful photograph of you robed up with a lovely hat on. And I just want you to explain to people what that photo was.
Thank you so much. Well, that was my receiving my honorary doctorate, a doctorate of letters. Because at the beginning I thought, what is a doctorate of letters? It's basically a doctorate in respect of your contributions in the literary world. So because I've written a lot and produced a lot of education around history, my work has been lifelong. It's been a lifelong journey. So Nottingham, the University of Nottingham, I'm so grateful. They honoured me and said thank you. It was really a thank you, and I respected that. I thought that was so kind, because often again you don't get thanks very often for your work, what you do. So I thought, yeah, that's really nice to accept that. This is the actual doctorate in paper form. It's actually a beautiful bound certificate, and my oration, which is basically a speech that the head of the history department, one of the professors, read out about my journey to getting this award. So it's such an honour.
Congratulations, Dr. Norma Gregory, and we are so delighted. So many people in Nottingham and around the country and around the world. The people that you have impacted, you've made such a great contribution. Well, recently you've just received another award, and I'm so delighted about this next award. And it was given to you by the Weekly Gleaner, and for people who have made great contributions to society. And as I was reading the article about you, it says 13 other people also got awards, but you were given an award because of your contribution to the voluntary sector. So, Norma, what was it like to be in the presence of all these other honorees? I'm sure there's some other famous people that you can mention who are there.
Levi Roots, lovely man. Carol Thompson, Linton Kwesi Johnson, Raheem Sterling, he got an award. It was an amazing venue in London. I couldn't believe that I got an email requesting my attendance if I would like to come to the event as a nominee when they wrote to me, and I was honoured. I thought, wow, amazing that the Jamaican people were recognising other Jamaicans around the world who are doing great things, because the Jamaican community is a global community. There are Jamaicans everywhere doing amazing work all over the world. And to have the Jamaica newspaper, the Gleaner, which was founded in 1834, so it's a really established newspaper about the Jamaican people. So to be honoured, for 13 people in the whole country, I thought that was amazing. But I mean, I think that I nominate my award to everybody who's doing amazing work. Jamaicans that are doing outstanding work as well. So, it was super to be there. But yes, it was a great time to just reflect on the work that has been done, but what is yet to be done, what we've got to do. There's a lot more that's got to be done by many more people. So I think it was a good event, amazing feature in the Gleaner, and having another issue with detailed interviews of all the winners. So I will feature in the second edition. I'm going to get a copy shortly, just so I can save it for my archives, for my grandchildren, hopefully one day. But just as a record of our place and space in the world, it's important, and use that honour to do great things, to do more great things.
Wonderful. I'm so thankful that you've taken this time out just to share your story with the listeners and viewers of this podcast. And I'd just like to say a prayer for you, Dr. Gregory. And Lord, I just thank you for Dr. Gregory. I thank you for all that she is and all that she's going to be in the future. And I pray that you will anoint her from heaven above with all that she needs, the energy, the vitality, the wisdom, and for all future projects and future awards coming her way. Help her to know that you're with her, you're guiding her, you're protecting her, and your divine presence will always surround her. As long as she's on this earth, you will be there for her. Amen.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm Esther Stapleton-Stone. This is In the Boardroom podcast, and my guest today was Dr. Norma Gregory. And thank you so much, Dr. Norma Gregory.
Thank you.